Moser and I installed this lip. We didn't film installing it. After we finished painting the lip was very twisted. It was not straight at all. So when we installed it, we did a lot of twisting of it to get it to fit. It was completely bowed. And in doing so, as soon as we installed it, the paint cracked. In multiple places, it instantly chipped because we had to twist it so much. We put it on without filming it because it was twisted, and we wanted it to mold to the shape of the car, take it off, and then put it back on so it would be easier to put on camera. So many months have passed since we put it on the car without filming it, and it could be a good thing. It certainly had much more time to form to the shape of the car, so I'm hoping when we take this off, it's going to be the right shape. It's not going to be twisted. I'm going to take it off and remove all of the paint of what's left. Now, not all of this is because it chipped. I used this kind of as a snow plow in the snow, and I was driving pretty aggressive through a snowstorm, so a lot of the chips were because of snow, but a lot of it was because it was super twisted and cracked. So we're going to repaint it, but I'm going to take it off, clean all the paint off with a Scotch-Brite pad, and depending on if it's twisted or not, if the lip is still twisted like it was, I'm going to put it back on and paint it while it's on the car, because I don't want the paint to twist and crack again. But if it's in the correct shape and it's not twisted, then I'm going to paint it off the car, which hopefully that is the situation that happens. But if it's still twisted and still being a motherfucker, I'm going to clean it all off, put it on the car, tape it off, and then paint it. So we're going to see what happens. I guess a future tip for this is if you get a lip like this, or any lip or any body panel for your car that is a plastic or polyurethane or whatever, put it on before you paint it. See how easy it is to put it on. If it's very difficult, if it's twisted, put it on the car and leave it on for a while for the shape to form, or just paint it while it's on the car. If you paint it and then put it on, you could risk cracking it like we did. So learn from our mistakes, not your mistakes. Alright, now the moment of truth to see if it molded to the shape of the car or if it's still going to be a bitch and be kind of twisted. I think it molded to the shape of the car. Because before, it really was like this. And I didn't even notice it. But, oh yeah, that definitely molded to the shape of the car. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna paint this off the car. I'm kind of glad I left it on for a few months. Awesome. Now we get to clean it up. Okay, so we are in our paint booth now. I know most of you probably don't have access to a paint booth. We are very fortunate that we do at our warehouse where we keep our cars. I'm gonna be wiping this down just to clean it off after I scuffed it up. And then I'm gonna spray with primer. You're not gonna be able to hear me talk when we're doing any of it because when these fans kick on, it's super loud. So it's gonna be probably a whole montage for this because, like I said, these fans are extremely loud and you won't be able to hear a damn thing. So the primer is dry on the lip. We're going to be using this Duplicolor Perfect Match. It's apparently supposed to be the same paint code as the car. So this is the paint code that we're using. It's supposed to be the same silver that's on the Lexus right now. Okay, so it is sprayed with silver. It looks pretty good. There's a little bit of, I don't know if it's orange peel, but it almost looks like reptile skin. Even the primer kind of had this look, but actually some parts of my car have it too. So I'm not gonna correct it because it kind of works with the car. I don't know if that is imperfections from the factory paint or if my car was wrecked and repainted, I'm not sure. But now we're gonna clear it, and this is a 2-part clear. It's got the paint up here and a hardener down here, so you shake it real good, and then you take this piece off of the cap down here, put it down here, and you hit it, and it pops it and it mixes. And then once you do that, you only have 24 hours to use this. But it's a really good clear, it's really hard. Most clears out of spray cans are kind of soft, but this makes it much harder, like professional paint that you mix. And it's also really toxic, so you need to use either a respirator when you use this or have a super ventilated area like we have here. So we're gonna go ahead and clear this, and it should look pretty good. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna need to wet sand or buff it yet. I probably won't because it's a lip and it's probably gonna get pretty beat up, but we'll see how it looks after it's cleared. Okay, so I painted the lip, the same process that you saw earlier, so there's no point in me showing you how to paint it twice. Only this time, there's a lot more dings and dents on it because when I stripped this, I used a wire wheel, and some parts it took a lot of plastic off. I tried to fill it with filler primer, sand it, fill it, and all that. It made it a little better, but you can still see a lot of deep scratches. I'm not worried about it because in probably 3 days it's gonna be fucking torn as shit again. I hope not, but that's probably what's gonna happen. But now we're gonna install it. It should be easier because this was on the car for like 3 months and it formed to the shape of the car. So my words to you, my words of advice to you, if you're gonna do a lip like this and you're gonna paint it, install it first, rock it, unpaint it for a little bit so it forms the shape of your car. Take it off, then paint it, and then put it on so it doesn't crack. So now we're gonna put it on, just like that. Things like that. In the same hole as last time. No cracking. Last time, as soon as we put it on, because it was twisted, like if the lip is supposed to be like this,
yeah,
it was twisted like this. So we had to twist it back a lot, and as soon as we mounted it, the paint chipped off. That sucks. Because it twisted so much. There you go, that's how you install and paint a lip. This lip is actually pretty easy to install. Besides the fact that you might have to put it on and rock it to make it shape to the form of the car before you paint it. This is only held on by 4 screws on each side. They just attach right here to the bumper. The lip on my Sentra, it's because it wasn't made for my Sentra, but I attached that with like 13 drywall screws. Just put a screw in, put it in with a drill, all across the front. It worked, but it was pretty shitty. This, simple, 4 screws on each side, nothing up front. And also, this does make it look a little lower, but it doesn't attach to the bottom of the bumper. It goes straight on, so it doesn't really lower it that much. It might hang down like maybe a quarter or a half an inch more. Nothing serious, but it does make it look a lot better. And this is probably the most common lip for the IS300 because it's the eBay lip, and some people love it and the rest hate it. I think it looks awesome. I don't care if you think it looks awesome or not, but I showed you how to install a lip and how to paint it, and gave you some great words of advice where if you're gonna do this, put it on before you paint it, or you might crack the shit out of it and paint it again. So learn from my mistakes and not yours, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.